Hey everyone, welcome to Good DIY Plans. In this video, we're going to be going over how to make this sit to stand desk. What that means is that this desk is adjustable in height. It can be in sitting position, which is 30 inches, and then it can fully extend to standing position so that you can work behind a standing desk. The overall dimensions are 30 inches tall, it's 30 inches deep, and then 60 inches wide when it is in sitting position. And then in standing position, it extends to 43.5 inches. So this is a beginner-friendly step-by-step tutorial so that you can make this in your own home as well. And then just to be clear, the sitting to standing mechanism, this is manual. So you have to physically lift the desk up, and then you're going to use 1-inch diameter dowels to hold it in whatever depth you would want it to be. So when I was designing this, one thing that I really wanted to achieve was to make sure that all of this fits onto one plywood sheet. And it does. So this is a full 48 by 96 inch plywood sheet. It's going to be on 3/4 inch thick plywood. And the nice part is that since you only need one sheet, you can splurge on a nice plywood sheet, something that's good on both sides. And also something that when you cut it into it, it's not going to have plywood where it's like missing parts. I don't know if you guys know or come across those kind of cheaper plywood sheets where you cut into it and then you see the layers, and then in some of the layers there's gaps, right? Since this build is going to have a lot of edges of the plywood exposed, I recommend that you go with a nicer plywood sheet. So this is going to be the cut list for this is going to be available in the DIY plan. I'm going to link below so that you can have that as well. So now I also wanted to go over some possible modifications for this. If you wanted to use this as like a workstation, you could. It doesn't have that motor, right? So you may need to install one, or if you're okay with like working with it manually, you can. Another really good use case for it is to make this into like an art desk. So we're gonna see in this build that the tabletop here is going to be attached with some pin nails to the legs. You don't have to do that. You could modify it where the top here could swivel like side to side, right? So that's very easy to do. You would just drill some additional dowel holes here, and then you could have maybe like 3 settings. That way, you know, maybe you have your canvas on there, or you're sketching or doing whatever. If you do want to add like a computer tray, that's also very possible. You could add a computer tray here that slides out on some drawer slides. And then that way, this can actually be a very ergonomic desk for when you want to sit or stand. So let's go ahead and dive into how to actually make this. So what I got here is I'm just going to drag along this plywood sheet to show you how everything kind of comes together. So the main green piece here, this is going to be the desktop, and then we're going to have these 2 orange pieces and these 2 yellow pieces. So you're going to secure these together with some wood glue and then some pin nails. Clamps here would just be very essential. That way everything is nice and neat and comes together. So let's go ahead and move on to the next step. So we're going to be taking some of these green components, which are going to be the legs, and then we're going to secure it to these purple pieces as well. So we're going to use about a 5 3/4 inch gap here on the sides. And then again, we're going to use some of those pin nails and wood glue. So I did say 3/4 inch thick plywood, but that's not sold exactly as 0.75 inches. It's a little bit less, or sometimes it's a little bit more depending on what you buy. So I believe the most common one is 22 32/32. So whatever fraction that comes out to, that's what it would be. So the gap that you need to leave here between these 2 green pieces needs to be basically the same thickness as the plywood that you're using, which is really easy because if you cut up the plywood sheet, you're going to have plenty of pieces to insert there as a spacer. That way you get the exact spacing that you need. So once you've got that, go ahead and move on to the next step. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take 2 of these kind of teal colored pieces, and what we're going to do is we're going to drill some holes into this. So the holes that we're going to use the holes that we're going to drill are going to be 1 inch diameter. So the reason why is because we're going to be using 1 inch diameter dowels for this. If you're going to use skinnier dowels, which will probably look a little bit uglier in my opinion, you know, you would need to have a different bit for this. So a 1-inch diameter Forstner bit is what we're going to be using for this. Now I know it shows here that you just use like a drill and then you put it on there and it just start drilling. That's not actually a very good idea because your hand can tilt side to side, and because we're going to be putting the dowels through multiple layers of these holes, it has to align really nicely. So the best thing that you can do is use a drill press. If you don't have a drill press, there are these little jigs that go over a drill that actually kind of help guide it. It's like under 20 bucks on Amazon. I've used those. They're pretty good, you know, and it's a pretty good economical option. If you have a drill press, you're in luck. That's awesome. So if you do want to take a little screenshot of where to actually place these, you can. So 4.5 inches away from the edge, and then basically 1.5 inches away from each. And then we're doing it in the center of the board. So 2.5 inches from here and 2.5 inches from here. So just mark it up and make sure that both of these are going to be identical. And then go ahead and drill all of those holes. So next, what we need to do is attach the purple pieces here, or these teal pieces here rather, to the green components. So this is the part where if you do attach this, you're kind of locking in the desk to where it's just going to be sit and stand. If you did want to modify it by drilling some holes in here, again, possibly using just 1-inch diameter holes, since you already have that bit available, you could do possibly like 3 settings. If you do want to do more, that's up to you. Or if you wanted to tilt both forwards and backwards, you know, it's completely up to you. So you can do that. Once you've got that, go ahead and secure it with those same pin nails and wood glue. And what we're going to do is we're now going to inlay these purple pieces. We're going to inlay it directly into the rest of the table here. So they should inlay really nicely here. And this way, when we secure it with wood glue and pin nails here, this fits in really nicely and really solid. So this all together basically makes the tabletop. So let's go ahead and move on to the next step. So next, what we're going to do is we're going to modify the remaining 4 teal pieces. So here what we're going to do is we're going to drill the same holes. So these are also going to be 1 inch diameter. And then the placement here is, again, 4.5 inches away from the edge, 1.5 inches, and we're just going to need 3 of these. This is going to be centered. So go ahead and drill those in there. Okay, so next what we're going to do is we're going to take 2 of these brown components, and then we're going to put them together, just sandwich them, and then connect them with wood glue and the pin nails. And what we're going to do is we're going to take 2 of those modified teal pieces. So 2 from here. These are the ones that only have 3 holes. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add these pink pieces to the side. So we got pink pieces 1, 2, 3, 4 right here. And then we're going to use wood glue and then just secure them to the side. And before we cover this up and make it, you know, like a locked box where the sliding is actually going to happen, we're going to secure the brown pieces directly through the sides here. So some wood glue and some pin nails are going to go in there. And next, go ahead and lock this box in. Okay, so you're basically just adding the 2 remaining teal components and then just locking that in with the same method. Okay, so to finish up the bottom of this sit-stand desk, go ahead and add the lavender, or these are kind of more like gray pieces, right? So these 4 gray pieces, and then they're just going to be the legs on the sides here, making sure everything is nice and stable. And this is where we're going to use these 5-inch long, 1-inch diameter dowels. And then these are the ones that are going to go in through here to secure the table. So let me show you how to actually operate this. So basically, when all of that's in place, the table is going to go up and down this way. Theoretically, you could just like pull it all the way out, right? So, but it goes up and down, and then the holes are supposed to match. So that way you're able to put the dowel through 3 layers here. The outside, the middle, and then the outside out here, right? So once you got that matched up, then you just put in the dowels, and then that's going to remain in that place. So a couple of tips here. So And what I would do is I would use a router. And the reason why I'd use a router is to make sure that the dowel goes in easier. So what you can do is, especially for the outside here where you're going to initially put in the dowels, just take a router and then just round off the corners of this. Round off the corners. Also on this end too, just so that it's nice and aesthetic. So when you put the dowel in, it's going to be much more forgiving. If you don't hit the hole exactly, it's going to kind of guide it into the place. And then on this side, what it's going to do is if you're putting it in and it's kind of rough, it's not going to blow out like one of the layers of the plywood out the other end, if you know what I mean. Because if you don't have it rounded off, as you go in, it's actually going to catch one of the edges of those, thin layers and then just blow it out on the other end. So I would definitely do that for both of the legs. The other thing that I would do is do the same thing for all of the circles here as well. So on both sides, just round it out. And then also to make sure that this goes in and out easily, I would round off the edges of this plywood here. 1, 2, 3, and 4 on all sides. That way it goes in and out much easier. And the other thing that you can do to make sure that it doesn't get stuck as wood kind of rubs up on wood is when you are going to be applying your finish to this, I would apply like a finishing wax for the whole table. Finishing wax is so nice and smooth. I use it on all the furniture that I do for indoors. But especially in this situation, I would put a good amount of finishing wax there and just really, really polish it out. That way it's not wood sliding on wood. It's actually going to be that finishing wax sliding past finishing wax. So it actually is going to make it a lot less friction and overall much better work. So when you are going to be using the router, these are things that you actually have to do a little bit earlier on. So consider this here. These holes will have to be routed on both sides, right? And then also these holes before you put them in, these have to be routed, and then these would have to have the routed edges done here at this stage. So at this point, you're done. Go ahead and stain this. I wouldn't paint it. That'd be a shame if you've got a nice plywood sheet. Or if you like it, leave it natural. It's a very nice, that nice birch plywood sheet, that maybe you purchased. A lot of times leaving that natural is like the best look. Now, for those of you who are ready to build the adjustable desk, I do have the DIY plan. It's going to be linked below. It's essential for this project because it goes into much more details. It has the tools list, the materials list, the lumber shopping list, the cut list, of course, the cutting diagrams for how to cut the actual plywood, step-by-step instructions, basically everything you're going to need in order to be successful with this project. So you can just print this and then work offline at your own pace in your shop, in your garage. That way your computer and your laptop don't have to accumulate dust and get dirty in the garage. So I appreciate everyone who supports good DIY plans. You guys have an awesome day. If this video was valuable to you, check out the next project on the screen.